Well, in 1985, two teenagers named Cheryl James and Sandy Denton made their radio debut with a song called The Showstopper. It was a small hit that led to a big music career for Sandy and Cheryl, who won instant fame as the hip-hop duo Salt N Pepa.
Salt and Pepa, joined by DJ Spinderella, were the 80s and 90s answer to girl power. They were the first all-female rap group to break into the world of hip-hop. Their 17-year run garnered them a Grammy, 3 MTV Awards, and songs that are now legendary. But behind the cool raps and funky beats is a story of two friends, Cheryl James and Sandy Denton. As the years passed and the group's popularity intensified, so did the tension between them. And coupled with the stress of the industry and the strain on their friendship, Cheryl abruptly left the group. It's been a decade since the breakup, and today, Cheryl is ready to talk. When I met up with her on a cold day in New York City, she candidly talked about her mistakes, her regrets, and how she was able to reconcile one of the most challenging relationships of her life. Some of the most heated moments were captured during the taping of their new reality series, The Salt and Pepa Show on VH1.
Our relationship was tense, it was fear-based, we were misunderstanding each other, we had no communication skills and no way of knowing how to communicate. I was a kid when I started, so I didn't even figure out who I was apart from this image that I created. And eventually, it just got to be too much. I had suffered from depression as a teen. That didn't go away. I had low self-esteem, and I became bulimic while I was in the industry because of the pressure to be beautiful and be thin.
When the pressure became too overwhelming, she turned to a God she had long since forgotten.
I grew up in church, and it was a foundation laid, but I didn't know what it meant to have a relationship with God. And so this one day it was like, who are you? Like, I want to know who you are. So I got on my knees and I said, what do you want from me? The Spirit spoke to me and said, I want all of you. God just showed me that he had to be first in my life. And so I had to step away from the chaos in order to develop a relationship with God.
So after 17 years of success and at the height of the group's popularity, Cheryl called it quits.
Through prayer, through the word, through finding a good church and surrounding myself with people who loved me and supported me and encouraged me, that it was just my time to just heal.
But in her quest to heal, Cheryl hurt someone along the way, Sandy.
So now in her eyes, I'm a liar, I'm a phony, I'm a fake, I'm a quitter. I abandoned her, and that triggered just a lot of, stuff in her from her childhood. I became like the object of all the wrong that's ever been done to her.
So when she turned to God for help, she was kind of surprised at what he had to say.
God showed me that, you're angry, you're bitter, I told you to forgive, and you're forgiving with your mouth, but you're not forgiving with your heart, and you're carrying all of these things.
And that it was time to face the past and heal old wounds. With cameras rolling, they exposed the hurts from the past and dealt with them openly and honestly for the first time.
Did you ever think that you would get to a point where God would have you to ask for forgiveness when sometimes it seems that in that season prior to, you were the one who was feeling like you were getting hurt all the time, but yet now the Lord's saying, but I want you to say you're sorry?
Yeah, that was a huge step. I had said sorry before, but
did you mean
I hadn't, and I did mean it, but I hadn't acknowledged the pain that I caused. Forgive me for leaving.
Yeah.
Okay. Sandy, please forgive me. I never meant you any harm, and I was wrong for the way that I left, but I really needed to do that for me, and I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? Yes. And she was trying to tell me that I'm devastated because she needed me, And so when I got that revelation, I was like, oh, okay. Then I really, really asked for forgiveness because I have received such a blessing in what I've learned, through my relationship with the Lord. And I just want that for her,
Today, Cheryl reflects on the past and is thankful for the lessons learned and the comfort in knowing that God can make even the old things new again.
God has healed our relationship. We are positively affecting each other. And she wouldn't want me to say this, but Peppa goes to Bible study with me every other Tuesday, and she is getting a lot out of it. How do you win them if you don't love them? If you don't hug them, if you don't encourage them, if you don't support them, and you're just like correcting all the time. And so that has been the blessing of having her back in my life, that she's shown me what it means to really love, someone beyond, what you think they should be.
God's desire is to make us more like Jesus, to change us from the way that we are naturally to what he created us to be. And a lot of times in our lives that begins with forgiveness. Forgiveness that's really heartfelt, as she said, not just saying it with your mouth, but meaning it in your heart, meaning it in your mind. Maybe there are things in your life that you are bound up by because you haven't forgiven somebody who's hurt you, or because you need to say you're sorry and really let go of something in your heart. That means controlling your thoughts about it. It means releasing it all to God, and then watching how he fills your life with blessing, watching how he deepens relationships, even restores them, as this relationship between Cheryl and Sandy was restored. If you'd like to know more about how you can have that in your own life, it begins with a relationship with Jesus Christ. You just ask him to come into your heart. Say what she said, I want to know you. Who are you? Who are you? Make yourself real to me. We have a phone line that's available for you to call. It's toll free. It's 1-800-759-0700. If you call that line, the person who answers on the other end is someone who's prayed that same prayer and had a revelation and a complete change in their own lives. They'd love to pray with you today. When you call, say, I want a higher calling. This will help you grow in a relationship with Jesus Christ. And if forgiveness is something you're dealing with, ask for this. It's all free. It's a little pamphlet called Forgiveness, filled with the Word of God. So call now. Pat?
Well,